accounting and payroll software used by accountants and non-accountants alike. Go to patriotsoftware.com. Use
Primetime just minutes ago.
Just an honor, man. I mean, I'm just grateful. I just went out there and worked hard every day. Loved Duval. Went out and did what I was supposed to do.
Speaking of the Jags, former Jaguar Allen Hurns will be available via the market, as Adam Schefter is reporting the Dallas Cowboys have released the wide receiver. Schefter is reporting that while Dallas wanted Hurns back, it was too low of a price for him. Your time is 1:03. It's 89 degrees. Your time and temp are brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller. More XL Primetime with Lunch with Leon is next.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC.
Well, Zion Williamson is still about 3 months away, a little under 3 months, from making his NBA debut. But as we all know, there was a bidding war for Zion Williamson's services in another department. That would be the shoe department and the overall brand department. In the last 20 minutes or so, it's been announced that the winner of the Zion sweepstakes is the Jordan brand, as Zion Williamson inks a multi-year deal with the Jordan brand. No terms disclosed. I mean, they were talking $250 million in some instances for Zion Williamson.
You going over or under on that? 250.
I'm thinking going over.
Over $250 million.
It could be. It's probably. It would be a 10-year deal. It would be something like that because they want to ink that cat for his career.
Now they're in no way affiliated with Nike, right? That's their two
Yeah, that is Nike.
So they are Nike.
Yeah,
it's
Nike.
So why?
Okay, so they have. I'll explain it a little bit. They have like their own clothing line and everything that's Jordan, but it is Nike. But a couple years ago, Jordan overtook Nike in sales. So Jordan is now basically bigger than Nike, even though they're the same thing.
So they're under the same umbrella.
They're all
just
making
two different
like
things.
Phil Knight's making
Tigers
money.
is his own thing too.
Yeah, and Michael Jordan's so powerful. The brand Michael Jordan that he just said we're going to go ahead. It's like peeling off. There are like major banks that peel off and create a new bank that's still under them, but it's just a completely new heading, and they operate separately. Air Jordan is exactly what that is.
You know what my shoe deal was when I was my rookie year?
What was it?
10 grand.
10 grand? 10 grand and how many shoes?
I got 10 grand, and I got a catalog where I had a certain budget of what I could spend.
Were you Reebok? Were you?
I was Reebok, yeah.
How much did they let you spend in the magazine? How much did they let you spend?
The 10 grand. That included.
Okay, so
I got the shoes for free, but then I got the budget of buying stuff up to 10 grand a year.
Oh, but they didn't.
So it wasn't cash. It was like merchandise tank.
Yeah.
That's so weak.
That's
I love
weak,
that, though.
It's 92, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what are you going to spend 10 grand on in a Reebok catalog?
I found a way.
Looks like the dudes now, the guys sit there in their living room and someone's taking a picture as they're signing every one of their Topps cards or whatever it is, and they get a deal if they sign 5,000 cards or whatever. They're getting a $25,000.
I had that deal too.
Yeah.
I got a deal exclusively $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was able to leverage against the Steelers and holding out because they didn't know I was sitting on that cash.
$250,000. Now, were you signing rookie Steelers cards or were you signing you?
I was signing rookie Steelers and Miami Hurricane cards exclusively. I think it was Topps. Remember Topps back in the day? Yeah, it was Topps.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys this story. Speaking of Topps, right? So remember when I went to Brantford, Florida for 4th of July? Well, all my baseball cards from a kid are in storage over there. Basically, what we don't have room for in Jacksonville, we store on a 60-acre piece of property in Brantford, which is my stepdad's farm. Well, anyway, long story short, I'm going through some of the boxes of these baseball cards. I come across a Hank Aaron 1957 Milwaukee Braves card.
Stop it.
So I am like on cloud nine. I'm thinking, holy moly. So I'm like, this is crazy. What are the odds of this? This is something like you'll see in a movie, find this unbelievably valuable card. I get on Google. It's worth like $9.99. Total bummer. But hey.
Why was it?
I don't even know.
Probably because they made a lot of them.
I'm sure they made a lot of them, but it piqued my interest. There's about I probably got a couple thousand cards.
Are those your dad's
there.
cards? Is that who they were?
But combination of my dad and me. But if I found a $10 Hank Aaron card, who knows how many other $10 cards are over there?
Exactly.
So I'm going to go over there one of these days and go through all those boxes and see what I got because I used to collect those things like nobody's business. I will guarantee you somewhere in that box there is a Leon Searcy Topps card from 1992 because that's what I did.
I thought you were going to say Honus Wagner. I was
No.
They're
I
just
wish.
as valuable.
Football.
That's the customary kiss to Leon.
But no, I have football cards, basketball cards, baseball. I even had pro wrestling cards back in the day. Man, I collected them all. So
That's awesome.
I certainly it piqued my interest as to what some of those may be worth.
His rookie season was 54, by the way.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a rookie card, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it was
that's what I was
57.
curious about.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of cool when you pass them on to the dude.
Yeah, the dude will get them.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
gonna be real cool.
no
Do
question.
you think he's going to like sports?
Oh yeah.
He has no choice.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
has no
I
choice.
like that answer.
Oh yeah.
But back then, you had catalogs, and you would put all these cards in, and I never really did it. I was not interested in it. I didn't collect cards. Didn't appeal to me at all.
Right.
And I just wanted the bubble gum. But there are people that did it for. They would catalog, document all this kind of stuff, and it's still sitting up in a lot of people's attics, a lot of people's closets. I don't know.
I know
I don't know how many people cashed in because it lost its value.
When I used to cover the Suns at One Riverside, I had a double-A card of A-Rod, double-A card of Randy Johnson, like all those guys, man. The stars that came through that Wolfson Park, just ridiculous. I still have their double-A cards.
Yeah, and
still.
I know the big ones are still worth something, but I just wonder how many people it just lost its value.
Yeah.
Because they had so many of them, and then everyone's out there trying to trade, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, I just don't think you have a lot of cards.
down.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think teenagers today are collecting cards like I did, and like most of the guys.
Yeah,
your
that's what I
age
mean.
did.
It's kind of the what I don't know if I call it a novelty because it was around for a long time, but anyway, it's just worn off. So there's not a market for it.
I would buy the complete sets, like when Topps or Upper Deck would have their complete sets every year. I'd get them, and you had it was a Beckett, right? When they called Beckett's, where you had the magazine.
Why would you buy the complete set, man? The joy of it is buying one pack at a time.
Well, no, and I bought the complete set. I remember I got a Thunder and Lightning Shaq and Penny basketball card that was worth like $55 in one of the packs.
Did you sell it?
Heck no! I'm sure it's over at the farm somewhere. That's what I'm saying.
What's it worth
Shaq
now?
Left you.
I have no idea. I don't even know if they make Beckett's anymore, to where you can actually look this stuff up. I guess that's what Google's for these days.
All right, let's get to something real quick that Leon can identify with. He's going to hang out with us for another half hour. And, the college football world, when you talk about, what's going on with the best players coming out of every university, you would think that we would hear a lot of Gators, a lot of Knowles, a lot of the U. And these are schools that seem to pump out one position, send them off to the NFL more than other schools, and therefore you get the name, like as an example, DBU. LSU and Florida argue about it all the time as to who's DBU. They get on social media, they go back and forth talking about if they've kicked out, so many first-rounders or whatever, so many five-stars are coming to them as defensive backs, yet they may not be on this list.
Well, what ESPN.com did, and I kind of like it, they put in a formula where they looked at all these universities, all these programs, and they rated them based on all conference performers, all Americans, NFL draft picks, and players that became stars in the pro ranks. So they took those four criteria, all conference, all American, drafted players, and maybe players that didn't succeed greatly in college, but went on to have great careers in the NFL, and they rated every position. Leon, an example, tight end is obviously the University of Miami. Now, your tight ends are just ridiculous when you think about the likes of Jeremy Shockey, Bubba Franks, Greg Olson, Jimmy Graham, David Njoku. I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches at tight end. By the way, Iowa, Stanford, Missouri, and Wisconsin round out the top five for tight end U. And we'll go position by position. I'll let you know that Florida and Florida State are not number one on any of these. And, in fact, defensive back U, Florida and LSU always argue about that. Yet ESPN.com has Ohio State as DBU. Marshawn Lattimore, Denzel Ward, Eli Apple, and Malcolm Jenkins are their criteria.
I'd take three of those four.
I'd take three, yeah.
They're good players, but this is the problem with this whole list. You don't know whether it's weighted more toward college or more toward the NFL. It should be weighted more toward college. It's about college. It's a college idea.
Yeah, but
so I don't. If you're talking about just college players and you're talking about guys that were all Americans, Ohio State's not even anywhere near.
Well, for example,
not anywhere near LSU or Florida. Not even
Florida's
close.
listed at Vernon Hargraves, Joe Hayden, Reggie Nelson. All right, good players, Well, what about, Keanu Neal, who was a first-round pick and is now a great player?
What about
with
Lito
Atlanta?
Shepherd?
Lito Shepherd, guys
What
like
about
that.
Ratliff?
But if you go Jenkins,
Well, Ratliff was not a very good pro, but he was a great college player.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The whole point is it should be more of a college type, because you're talking about you. You're not talking about the NFL. You're talking about you.
Yeah.
If you're talking about DBU, it should be a college idea,
But
not an NFL thing.
You know what? I'll tell you what they're doing right now. Look at Florida State. Jalen Ramsey, Derwin James, Myron Rolle.
Mm-hmm.
Myron Rolle didn't even go to the NFL because he went to England.
And was a
Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah,
Rhodes Scholar, right.
And he was I would never call him a great either.
No, it's just
He was
solid player.
supposed to be, but
Solid
he
player.
wasn't.
He was supposed to be, but
DBU as far as Miami, 2001. I mean, on the same field there was
Right,
Mike
right.
Rump, Philip Buchanan, Ed Reed, and Sean Taylor was a backup.
I'd have a hard time not naming a lot of positions that the U would be on a list, a short list, as far as kicking out really great talent.
Wait, hang on one sec, Joe. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Say those four again. You were saying?
Mike Rump, Philip Buchanan, Ed Reed, and then Sean Taylor.
Okay, so the three players they say as notable players when they have Miami ranked 8 in DBU: Kenny Phillips, Brandon Merriweather, and Sean Taylor.
Yeah, I mean that's just ridiculous.
So see, you got to understand. Sometimes you got to understand who's doing these lists,
And that's
and,
listen-
and the age of this person doing these lists. This could be someone 24 years older,
And I
or
don't even
26
care
years
about
old.
killing the list. I just care about just getting into the topic and saying you can come at it from a couple different
Right.
angles.
You didn't
Because-
put Ed Reed on there?
Yeah, because,
Right,
yeah,
that's my point,
just-
bro. That's
yeah,
it.
That's ridiculous.
The greatest safety of all
Like
time.
even when you do the DBU, you can recruit off of that. So it's high schoolers that are thinking of you as DBU, and then if you're sending them off to the
look
NFL,
at
hang on one
look
second.
at quarterback use.
Hang on one second, real quick. Ohio State on their defensive line, okay? For this, whoever did this, Mike Vrabel is on the defensive line as a notable.
That's not good.
Mike Vrabel,
Linebacker.
the coach, by the way,
Yeah.
of the Titans.
Linebacker.
If you look at quarterbacks, right, you look at Southern Cal. They have Southern Cal as quarterback U. And their reasoning, Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, Mark Sanchez, who, by the way, officially retired today, and Sam Darnold. That's pretty good. Is there anybody in the last 25 years that has produced 4 better quarterbacks than Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, Mark Sanchez, or
All right,
Sam Darnold?
Think about that. Think about it. We'll do it coming up on XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Make your track bar adjustment on 1010XL.
They need a caution.
This Sunday at Pocono Raceway.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, drivers!
Brought to you by American Transmission from Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Joe C. for Florida Home AC. It is hopping right now when it comes to service trucks, getting their orders, leaving Florida.